Action!
Okay, rule number 1. You never saw me like this, even though I still look very cool.
You look like a kidney stone.
And you look like someone who would know what that is. Now.
Hey guys, it's Ben O'Shea from the West Australian.
You're quite skilled.
You look fantastic, by the way.
With your black t-shirt on.
The black t-shirt,
yeah,
the black
scared us for a moment there.
A floating head over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about looking good, Temuera, are you doing a Dwayne Johnson impersonation?
Yeah, you can finally the only one that forgot it. I was sitting here all day long. Thank you very much. I'm sitting here like trying to. You look like I'm doing it on purpose.
He's got it now.
Yeah, I'm the little version. A pebble.
He's
Maybe
the
I'm
pebble.
a pebble. A pebble next to the rock.
All right, let's get into this. Congratulations on the film and the premiere last night. You all looked amazing. And now I have Asian Australian friends who remember as kids watching Mulan and what it meant to them to have Asian representation, a Disney princess who was Asian. It really meant a lot. We're all a bit too old to have that experience with the first Moana film, but I would love to know from each of you, what does it mean to see Polynesian culture represented in something as iconic as a Disney animated film?
Oh, it's just another way of showing the world that there's so much more to us than the eye sees. It's like we're really good at physical sports, but we're pretty damn awesome at animated feature films.
Little sis! Big sis! You were gone forever.
It was 3 days.
Where are we going?
Before Maui stole Tifiti's heart, our ancestors wanted to connect our island to all the people of the entire ocean. It's my job as a wayfinder to finish what they started.
Yeah, I think it just brings in that whole world of navigating the Pacific Ocean. One thing our ancestors could do would find their way. They knew the stars' constellation. I know in our own ancestry, our tupuna back in the 13th century got direct instructions which star to follow. Whakatauti ihu o te waka ka whakahu. Keep the prow of your canoe in line with the star known as whakahu. Ko whakahu ki tēnei taha iti o te mangaro. You'll find the star to the left of the Pleiades and shines at a certain time. Head southwest, follow that star. You should get to New Zealand, and that's all the way from North America. So it's about all of that stuff too. And it's about the four winds and acknowledging some of the indigenous sounds of Polynesia. Some of the sounds here in Australia are starting to come to the fore here, the voices, the languages. In Moana too, we have a combination of all the Pacific. We have the Samoan flavour, we have the Tokelau flavour, and the language heard. Even Dwayne is speaking a little bit of his own language. So that's entirely, as well as the emotion and the spirituality of Polynesia, our connection to the ocean. Those kinds of things.
I think it's a real sense of pride, you know, our tamariki, our babies can't be what they can't see, and I think, you know, representing that and being here, our kanohi, in person, face to face, and for them to actually see their people taking photos and telling stories and doing interviews is really, really important. So a huge sense of pride for sure.
And David, your character goes on the quest with Moana in the sequel, and
I'm quite sure what he's doing on that waka.
He's under the waka.
He's on the waka with the chicken and the thing. And all sorts of stuff.
We really see that sort of dry sense of humor. Like, how would you describe the New Zealand sense of humor that now, of course, is famous around the world, not least because of Taika Waititi?
Yeah, well, don't forget it's the same as Australian humour. It's self-deprecation. It's that dry. Oh, yeah, you've done that one. Yeah. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? How do you feel? That was So it's something that comes naturally. But with Kele, we amped it up a little bit more to really hit home that he's that different sort of grumpy old fella. But but heart of gold. I thought he was supposed to be a sex symbol, but once we put the film together, I understood.
that kind of movie.
Yeah, it's not that kind of film. You know,
Didn't have the same muscles as Maui. That's a shame. And Temuera, you mentioned the kind of the mixing pot of cultures in this film across Polynesia. The first film, great directors, very, very, very white. Two of the three directors in the sequel are of Samoan ancestry. How was that experience different for you making the second movie?
Well, I think they can draw on some of the, they probably know more about some of their Polynesian cultural history too, and some of the spirituality sides and stuff that they can use as a kind of model or as a tool to move the narrative along. But yeah, great. It was just a great collaboration. Of course, we as performers, we kind of, they go through a long process, a cultural process too, which must have been quite a journey for them.
Absolutely.
They would have to go on their own voyage in terms of keeping everybody happy, I guess, in Polynesia, and trying to keep the respect amongst everybody as well, which is important. We've grown somewhat now, the theatre, the animation, the stories, the narratives, with a lot more respect. And so those kinds of things are more to the fore, where we sort of don't have to research so much because some of these people already know just from their own ancestry and their own stories. But I think Polynesians are awakening up in terms of the cinema too. Some wonderful stories coming out of Samoa, Tonga. And, maybe we're down here in New Zealand and Australia, we're kind of leading the way in a way. And if you look at some of the successful stories, The Whale Rider was a big kind of movie and at its time. So the fact that we're awakening up to our Polynesian ancestral history and some of those relationships to the ocean. And, I love the character of Grandma Tala.
Oh,
beautiful. She was
beautiful.
Just her texture and what it meant to how she transformed into the manta ray. Yeah, and it keeps those kinds of ancestral things, alive, and they're still here with us. They're part of us in a way. They're only this side of the veil, really. So, so those kinds of stuff is in the movie. The spirituality side, along with the colourful action, narrative, funny side of it too. So, so congratulations to Disney again for being bold and for taking those cultural steps too in the right direction.
And songs as well, of course.
From new shores we've been exploring, returning to tell our story, connected with both the land and sea. Finally, we're back to who we're meant to be.
And Awhimai, tell me about your character Matangi, who she seems quite complicated.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got a huge story. There's a lot there, and whether we get to see all of it, I'm not quite sure. But I think what we do see is that she is confident and she is larger than life, and she's outrageous at points, and she's here, there, and everywhere. But also we get to see that when Moana enters into her life, I think that there's a genuine interest that develops there, and I think she becomes quite fond of her. So, and obviously her message to Moana is to just take a step further, just get a little lost and see where that takes her, and obviously that leads into the unbelievable song of Get Lost that Barlow and Bear and the team at Disney wrote, which was just a whole journey in itself. Amazing.
A friend of living dangerously. You got a long way to go. Keep playing safe. You'll never know the rules around your brain.
Amazing, guys. Sadly, we've run out of time. It's been so great to talk to you, David, Awhimai, Pebble. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I caught it.
See you guys.